What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Unk TV. Yeah, so we back here again at Unk TV. Y'all, when you come in the door, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and we about to go over this cash out video, man. It's been going viral. We haven't heard about cash out in years, but he's back on the scene in a negative way, not a positive way. He's not making new music. He's not buying a house. He ain't bought a Lamborghini. He ain't even got a Lamborghini Urus. So he's in court. And the rumor is, it's not a rumor, the fact is, they hit this man with a life sentence. They charged him and five other people, including his mother, Momma Cashout, on 13 different charges, and they all include a conglomerate of sex trafficking. Grape, as we say on YouTube, but use your context clues. We can't say that word because of YouTube community guidelines. But it's sexual assault. We just gonna say sexual assault. Aggravated sodomy. I've never heard about that a day in my life. I didn't even hear that in the Diddy trial, and we know that Diddy was freaky, freaky. I've never heard of aggravated sodomy. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't want to see videos on it. I just would like to read and see what the hell is going on for the purposes of knowing exactly what's going on with my brother Cash out here. Well, no, he's not my brother. He's getting the cash out, the crash out, because he did something wrong. And they saying that these people lying, but the lies worked because they done charged his ass. Also, racketeering. So we gonna get into this courtroom video. We gonna see what Cash Out has to say. I think this video is after he's received his sentencing, and we want to hear a little bit of his side of the story. So I'm gonna be pausing the video because I'm gonna be reacting to it right here in real time. I have not watched this video. I kind of caught the beginning of it a little bit, and I just got out of it and said, "Hey, man, I want to react with the other with my other unks and their wives, and we'll react to it together and give our thoughts on it because you know how we do over here is just straight activities, baby, straight activities. So we're gonna get into this video, y'all. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section, man. This is crazy, man. Another black man gone.
Good morning, Leon. I want to start off by thanking you for giving us a fair trial. I want to thank the jurors for the amount of time that they put in to judge this trial. This time being on this trial, I was able to see how the jurors are put in a tough position to, sit there and judge someone's life. And it's a hard decision, and I felt like they made the wrong judgment. I've done things in my life. I'm not perfect. But the things I've been accused of, I know that I haven't done those things. I know it's typical for a person to come up here and show remorse to crimes that they have done, but I can only show remorse to the people that I know that was in this trial, which is Kiara Adams, Deanna Sanders, and Jasmine Brown. Not remorse on behalf of like I did anything to them, because if you know me and people who really know me know that I wouldn't force anybody to do anything. I met women, I dated women who were doing escort or whatever, however people want to look at it from a moral standpoint, but who was doing these things as a.
And that's one of the things I want to say. He dealing with them escorts. One thing I know and I practice, man, is I practice being a man of good character. So that means if you're married or if you're in a committed relationship, what they call exclusive dating nowadays, be a man of your word. I mean, don't cheat, don't step out, because once you reach the pinnacle of success that you're striving for, once you reach those major goals and those major milestones in your life that you're praying for every day, success it's going to give you success, and with success comes more money, and with more money It gives you more opportunity. It gives you more power. It gives you the availability to be more of who you are. So over here at On TV, man, we pray for character before we pray for the money. As a matter of fact, I don't even pray for the money. I pray for my goals. I pray to reach my milestones. I pray to be successful, so that I can strictly, just strictly provide for my family and, make life a little bit easier for the ones that I love. But the main thing that I pray for is character, man. Character. When you become a man of higher status, dealing with the escorts, sexual encounters with different women. First of all, it's dangerous because you got all type of STDs out there that you can't get rid of. Second of all, you could end up with a child out of wedlock over here with this other person, just like we see it every day with these NBA players and some NFL players, boxers, people they got the money and they got the success, but they don't have the character to do the right thing, man, and they get jammed up. And the only reason they're getting jammed up is because, man, you're moving foul out here. You've been blessed with all of this, and your character isn't straight, man. You got to get that lustful spirit out of you. It's a demon, man. It's a demon. And a lot of us, man, I mean, we have to deal with it. I had to deal with it myself. I know some friends that had to deal with it. I know some friends that didn't. Very mature, especially us men, very mature men. They never cheated. They don't even think about it. And it takes a lot of growing and maturing to get to that level. And this is what happens. What's going on with Cash Out? This is what happens when you run across success, you run across fame, you got the motion, you got the visibility. Everybody knows your name, man. So the lust is easier to feed it when you have that type of power, when you have that type of finance. You have emotion, man. You see these girls out here, man, they barely got any clothes on, and they out there like that for a reason. It's because they see that you got a bag and they want you to give them some of the bag, but in the end, they want your whole bag, man. They want your whole bag. So, Cash Out, he's in this situation. He's saying he's not guilty. They've already proved, sentenced him and charged him with it, so they saying that he is guilty. And he's going through this, man. And his mama is involved too. He's saying that he has no remorse for the ones that he's saying that they not telling the truth. They lying. He has no remorse for them. He only has remorse for the 3 that really know him, and they know that he wouldn't force anybody to do anything. So we're gonna get back to the video. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Hey, if you feel like I'm saying something wrong, correct me in the comments. I'll respond to you, and we'll figure it out. Back to the video, man.
Grown woman. I've only dealt with grown women. Nothing was forced. Nothing was coerced or anything of that nature. If you notice, before this trial, no woman can say anything about me before this trial. If you notice, before this indictment, no woman can say anything about me before this indictment. I get the situations that people are put in when they're faced with a certain type of crime or a certain type of time, and they're bullied into this situation to put the blame on someone, or to put the blame on Cash Out, or to put the blame on someone who's at the top. That's why I didn't really fault them for their decision. I didn't fault Deanna Sanders for making her decision during the proffer. She just had a child. Mind you, she was just on video call with me while being incarcerated. I don't fault Kiera Adams for.
Man, see, and that's gonna be the setup every time. The police been doing this for years. The law, the government, they've been doing this for years, man. If they want you, and they know that women are involved, women are always the weak link in any type of criminal situation. Even when criminals are blackmailing other criminals or extorting other criminals or robbing other criminals or whatever they do, they gonna go and they gonna get the woman and they gonna put the gun to his head, to their head, to her head, or whatever. They gonna put the pressure on her, and they gonna say, "Hey, look, you need to give up what you know. You need to do." They could even say, "Hey, look, you need to say these words right here." They can get whatever they want through that woman. The woman is always the weak link because they gonna threaten her children. Oldest trick in the book. They using it on Cash Out. Now, is he guilty? Is he not? I don't know. But I know one thing. You can get a woman to say or do anything if she feels like her life or those kids' life are threatened. If she has kids, she's going to lie to protect her life because she feels like her kids won't survive without her out there. If you threaten those kids, she's gonna give up whatever the information that she want to give up. She gonna lie. She gonna say whatever she gotta say to protect those kids, so where her and her kids can get out of the situation. Your ass is grass. She's gonna throw you completely under the bus. That's the oldest trick in the book. The mafia, all of them, the mob, they've been using that trick since back in the '60s when Bonnie and Clyde was running around. They've been using this. They've been doing this, man. Oldest trick in the book. Ah, damn. All right, he finna speak on this other girl, man. Let's get back to it.
Doing the things she did with her proffer, because mind you, she was facing a certain amount of time handling her probation in different cases that she's on. I don't fault people for making accusations because I'm a man that typically let women leave on their own behalf. Never held them in prison or held them in slavery or said you can't leave me or you can't do this. Every woman you've seen come on this stand showed you that they left and came back willingly on their own. What I mean by that, they left on their own and they came back willingly on their own. During this trial, I was able to see, how valuable life is and how valuable the people that you hang around or the people that you even date or the people that you even know, how valuable it is to judge their character. Sometimes I let people stay around who I knew was going to affect a situation that I had going on. So I don't, and for the people who came to this trial that I never met a day in my life, never had any contact with them, never had a text message with them, never had an interaction with them, don't even know where most of these stories came from, is baffling. Never.
So you got people showing up to the trial that he never met a day in his life. I don't know how true that is, but it sounds if they want to get you, they can get you. I don't know what Cash Out been having going on because we haven't heard from him in forever. So whatever lifestyle he living, whatever money dealings he done did, and whoever he pissed off, they was the wrong person because man, this brother's life is over. This brother's life is over. And it's hard to believe that he's not telling the truth. As he was saying, man, let me tell you something. When you got that money and when you got that fame, the majority of people around you are yes men. The women and all. It's like he said, they came and they left. They came and they left at will. He didn't hold. And I believe him. I believe him. There was nothing going on so bad to where he was just destroying their lives and making them sex slaves and drugging them and aggravated sodomy. What is aggravated sodomy? I still ain't got that figured out. I ain't looked it up yet. Yeah, if y'all could help me out, put that in the comments. Let me know exactly what that is. But, and if all of that's going on, why are you coming back? That should only happen one time. And once you see that happen, and hey man, there's some weird stuff going on over there. I'm glad I got out of there. I made it out the door. I made it home safe. Now it's time for me to get the authorities involved because I don't want this to happen to other young women. He's drawing people in with his money and with his fame, and he's doing freaky things to them. No, they didn't do that. They didn't tell. They didn't inform the authorities the first time that it happened. You want to know why? Because obviously he had something that they wanted over there, which it could be money, it could be clout, it could be anything that they could get their hands on for free without doing any work. Lazy people. The man said something powerful when he said he learned that, man, you really have to judge people's character, man. You have to. People say don't judge. over here at Unk TV, Big Unk, Jay Wilson. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I judge. I sure do. You come around, I stereotype. You come around me with a certain look. You look like something that I don't want to be around, or that I feel like would be detrimental to my safety, my freedom, my family, And I'm judging. I'm looking at you. I'm stereotyping. I'm getting the hell away. If I'm somewhere late night in my vehicle and, I know how I carry myself, and sometimes I'm be looking like a lick sometimes. I walk around looking like a lick, man. I know I do. Come around me looking too scruffy, too rough, too broke. Hey, man, I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'm going to judge you, brother. I'm going to lock my doors. I'm going to vacate the premises. If you don't look like my type of people, if you don't carry yourself to a certain standard, hey man, you don't have a lot of time to prove that you're a good person to me. That's how you get taken down, and that's what he learned, and he learned it the hard way, thinking with his heart. That signifies that he was a good-hearted person. Back to the video.
The woman to commit a sexual act. Never. I've been traveling all around the world from here to Dubai, and you will never hear a woman say that I forced them to do anything sexual or commit a rape with anybody. I don't hang around people that do things of that nature. I feel like and somebody asked me this the other day. It was like, every time I see your head high, you always smiling, because when you have that confidence, it takes me back to the Bible. When you have that confidence, and you can be falsely accused of things. Jesus was falsely accused. A lot of the prophets were falsely accused. You don't have that emotion like you've done something. So if you see me with my head high, or if you see me smiling, it's because I know at the end of the day, through Jesus Christ, the Most High will always give you the actual judgment. So I really thank you for providing us a fair trial. Just me getting to know you during trial, I was like, she's just the judge. But when you sit 12 people in that panel and you have them, judge our lives, and, put them in a position to judge our lives, it takes you back to, once again, the Bible, when people had to judge these prophets' lives. And I say, if you know me, you actually know me. There's plenty of people that know me in this world. There's plenty of people that know me in this jail. There's plenty of people that know me where I'm from. Like I said, once again, I'm not perfect. I come from certain areas. I come from, certain environments. I come from doing things in my past life before the music. But I'm here to tell you that if you sat in this trial and you paid attention to this trial, before these dates, no woman could ever say, I've done those things to them. Before these dates, you can go on my Instagram and see these women enjoying themselves, having their own things, living their own life. Before these dates, I can say you had these women that never had anything to say about me before this indictment, before the RICO. You had these women actually talking to me while I was incarcerated. I've been incarcerated for 4 years, and these women are interacting with me. These women who took the stand up and supposedly scared of me, or monsters, or I'm a monster, or took these proffers. This what.
So these women been communicating with him the whole time, allegedly. And when they got hit with these indictments, that's when they switched up. That's when the story changed. That's when they turned on him. That's when they started saying that, he was doing all of these things that he's been accused of in the charges. The jury is always put in a difficult position to make certain decisions on whether they feel like a person is guilty or not. But just anecdotally, right, from what I see in day-to-day life, in previous cases that I know people have been through, friends and, people from the neighborhood that's into the crime life or still into the crime life and stuff. A snitch, you put pressure on people, they're gonna tell. Most people are gonna break. They're saying that CRASHOUT coerced these women into doing things, but the court system, they coerced. That's coercion. They coerced those women into saying what they needed them to say in order to put this charge on CRASHOUT. And it made major news. Once it makes major news and they take down somebody that has a higher profile, such as CRASHOUT, such as Momma Cashout, the prosecutor the whole court system here, it gives them clout, basically. It gives them notoriety. It goes on their record as, hey, I was top prosecutor. I took down Cash Out. That's why they're going so hard at Diddy. I took down Diddy. That's why you got that lawyer that was going after Diddy and Jay-Z. I can't think of his name, when he said that that girl, that was a teenage girl, and she was underage, and she was on spring break, and she went to an after party from a concert, and Jay-Z and Diddy was there, and they had sex with her. Come to find, everybody believed it, especially you women, man. Y'all jumped on it. You can't wait to see a black man of status get taken down. Y'all rejoice at it. Us men, we've been knowing how the trickery goes and how they get lied on and things like that. So we wasn't exactly falling for it. We was like, hey, wait a minute, man. We want to see, like when the results come out. We want to see when the results come out, what it's gonna. We want to see the facts. We want to see the evidence before we make a decision. We not saying that they didn't do it. We not saying that the girl is lying. We just saying that we want to see the evidence before we make a decision. And I saw woman after woman. I talked to plenty of women, and they said that Diddy and Jay-Z did it, and they deserve to go to jail, lose everything. Their wives leave them, take the kids. They don't get to see the kids no more. They deserve to be broke. They were just basically condemned to a life of hell after that. And I saw it on social media, woman after woman saying, yeah, we got them. Yay, hooray, we got them. We took them down. They nasty. We knew it, and all of that. You didn't know nothing. You made a bunch of accusations. You built up these thoughts in your head, and they grew and they grew and they grew. And then I think that they really believed it. I think that they really believed it. And Cash Out just didn't have the backing, man. He probably didn't have the financial backing. I'm pretty sure he had some bread, but in order to fight these courts, man, you see how much Diddy done ran through. Diddy done crossed over 100 million easy, court lawyer fees and court fees, and fighting this case and filing this order, and all of that stuff that comes with that, man. It's very expensive, very expensive. But yeah, man. They got old brother Cash Out, man. I hate it for him. A life sentence, and they got his mama involved. His mother, man. This is crazy, man. They say cowards cheer when heroes fall. That's crazy. Let's go, brother.
This wasn't the case before they was indicted. So from my perspective, I feel like some people can get bullied into a situation that they really don't want to. They don't really want to be. And I'm sitting here just holding my head high and just, feeling that one day the truth will come out. One day the truth will come out on my situation. One day the truth will come out on this rape allegation. That these things never happen. And when you see a person get up on that stand and put their hand on the Bible and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, that means you have to be perfect like you're Jesus. You have to be perfect on that stand. You can't show a flaw. And that's a tough one. It's a tough one for me because I had flaws in my life. So you have to tell the complete truth on that stand. And I got up there and see people put their hand on that Bible and not tell the complete truth. And that's baffling. But at the end of the day, I put my trust in the Most High. I put my trust in the universe to bring out the truth. To bring out the truth of these people who made these allegations. To me, it's like you have no heart. You have no heart. And I know people want me to stay in line or walk a toe, but when you're speaking something truthfully, and you're speaking from the heart, and you know that this is not your character, something must be said. And I just wanted to address the court and give my perspective on the things that I felt during this trial and the judgment that I felt that the jurors gave us was not the correct judgment. And it will show. Thank you.
So, man, that's the story. Cash Out, they done gave him a life sentence. He got a chance to stand before the judge and speak. They gave his mother a life sentence. 30. They gave his mother 30 years. I haven't seen her speak yet. I think there's a video on that in here somewhere. And we'll come back and we'll touch up on that one later on. I actually got a small appointment I need to make, a small meeting I need to make to talk a little bit of business. But yeah, I'll definitely come back and give that to y'all. And man, this young man, Cash Out, he got up there in front of the judge and he gave his speech. He gave his final words after being sentenced with a life sentence. And he got a few more sentences too, like 20 years for this and 20 years for that and all of that. But that life sentence is gonna eat all of that up. And I have to say, man, the speech was put together pretty good. I don't know if he freestyled or if he had time to put that together. This is my first time hearing from Cash Out, and I know it's probably been 10 years since we heard from Cash Out. Longer than I ain't heard from Cash Out, and I know 10 years or more. So I don't know how long he's been fighting this case. I don't know how long he's been locked up, and how much time he had to read, think, ponder, study the Bible. You can tell that he's been reading and studying his Bible and getting close to God. That's why people like Charleston White, the other, a lot of y'all don't agree with him. A lot of y'all do. He can be a little extreme at times, but that's why people like Charleston White, they say what they say about men going to jail and becoming incarcerated. A lot of men that's off on the wrong path, and the fathers can't straighten them out, the mothers can't straighten them out. The grandparents, nobody in the community has the influence to straighten them out. He says send them to jail. I understood. A lot of people said he was crazy for saying that, but I understood what he was saying as soon as he said it the first time that he said it. Because me and a lot of people that I know and that I grew up with over in the hood, basically, man, that's how we became better people, man. You go to that prison, man, and they got programs just the way that it's ran. If you got any type of sense, if you got any type of conscience, if you got any type of heart, if you got any type of upbringing that was correct, somebody in your family that taught you a little better, a grandmother that used to give you words of wisdom or tell you, you know better than that, or you wasn't raised like that, it'll come out and you'll stand on and prison will bring that out of you. Now, if you was just totally traumatized as a child and abused, and all you saw was just, trauma, then, that'll come out too in prison, because just as many people go to prison and they come out better, it's just that many people that go to prison and they get worse. So it's what you make of it. But this brother Cash Out, that speech was very good. He hit a lot of good points in that speech. He stood on his innocence. He spoke about how the girls were coerced by the government to lie on him. And like I say, I don't know if they lying or not. I don't know all the ins and outs of the case. I don't know Cash Out. I wasn't there when these things were going down. And so I'm not, making this a definite point that I'm stating, but that speech was pretty convincing, and it was real. It was very well put together, and he spoke with clarity. It's crazy. You hardly hear black men speak like that, but he spoke with clarity. He put his words together good, his sentences. He paused when it was time to pause, his pronunciations, man. He did all of that correctly. Maybe it was because his life was on the line. I don't know. But hey, those are just my thoughts on Brother Cash Out and what he's going through. And you guys leave your thoughts down in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget, man, to tune back in. Whenever you see a new video pop up of on TV, I'm kind of just winging it right now. I got a little extra time on my hands because of personal issues that's going on in my life. So I will be bringing you guys more videos. So hit that like button, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, man. That's what's gonna make this channel grow. And I'll be back at y'all, man. We out.